Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Street Crypto here, back for another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Polkadot and its native token of DOT, as well as giving my thoughts about Polkadot and a price prediction. So Polkadot is currently sitting at $53 with a 1% increase in the last 24 hours, also sitting at a market cap of $53 billion. If you have a look at the all-time charts, we can see that Polkadot hit highs of close to $50 back in May, and then dipped down to around $11 in late July. Since then, we saw a parabolic run all the way up to $55 a few days ago. Quickly, if you don't know what Polkadot is, it is a open source sharding multi-chain protocol that facilitates the cross-chain transfer of any data or asset types, not just tokens, thereby making a wide range of blockchains interoperable with each other. So if you don't know what any of that means, to put it simply, Polkadot is like the glue between different blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, etc. I'm just going to get into some news quickly. So Polkadot hits new all-time high of, right now it's 55. So Parachain is an individual blockchain on the Polkadot ecosystem, and Parachain auctions in turn allow DOT developers to register their projects on a Parachain and get crowd loan funding for their projects. So essentially, they're going to be having auctions that will entice new developers and new projects onto Polkadot. That is why one of the reasons why it has been so bullish. And it's how developers can score their own slot to build their own use case within the Polkadot network. That's pretty simply what the Parachains auctions are. And there's been a lot of hype behind the Parachains coming up. And that's why we've seen such a huge run in the last couple of days. And it's actually the first of many Parachains launching today, in fact, or tomorrow my time, in a few hours. It will be happening on the 11th of November. The first Parachain auction will take place. So the DFG allocates 500,000 DOT to Akala ahead of Polkadot Parachain auctions. So a crypto investment platform or firm called Digital Finance Group has allocated over 500,000 DOT, which is $26.5 million, to Akala, which is a DeFi platform developed on Polkadot blockchain network. So they're going to be bidding for a Parachain slot with $26.5 million as their starting bid. And they are proud to announce their very first decision. And this was a decision made before there was even public announcement of the rewards and bonus for crowd loan participation. Now, why is this good news, or why is this bullish? Well, it shows that the whales with real money are putting their money into Polkadot and into the Polkadot ecosystem. And that is very good news for the average investor who wants to, get in on the Polkadot rise. If you've got these whales supporting you, obviously you do very well in the market if you know what whales are doing. The next thing I want to mention is the Polkadot ecosystem and why it is so important to understand. There are a lot of things in Polkadot. There are hundreds and hundreds of different projects, some that are very good and some that are pretty shit as well. But there is a lot of different things that are going to be coming up in the next couple of years for Polkadot, including its Oracle with Chainlink, including its Ocean protocol integration in terms of data, and then there's just a lot of things, and I'll leave a link in the description down to an overview of the Polkadot ecosystem because there is just too much for me to explain. But just by judging by this graphic, there are many, many different platforms and projects that are going to be launching on Polkadot very soon, and investors will certainly flock to the Polkadot ecosystem, thereby using the DOT token in order to get by. Now, I just want to go into some quick TA and give my thoughts on what's going on in Polkadot right now. Obviously, I've just got to reload this chart real quick, but something I want to mention is that DOT looks a little overextended. If we have a look at the DOT USDT pair, we can see what I'm talking about in terms of the 4-hour chart. So DOT has just gone absolutely parabolic, even from this massive green dildo on the 13th of October. Now that was thanks to an announcement regarding parachains. As we can see here, on the 13th of October, Polkadot parachains ready to launch and auction dates have been proposed. There were many articles on that date, and that's why we saw a gain in this 1 4-hour candle of nearly 20%, over 20% in fact. And since then, it's just gone pretty high, respecting the uptrend that we've produced on this 4-hour mark. Obviously, it's tested it a few times, but we've never broken this trend line right here, and that's why it's looking strong. The only thing I want to say is that we could see a dump on the 11th of October. Now, the 11th of October is the first Parachains auctions, and I imagine the news is pretty priced in right now. What does that mean? Well, it means since the first announcement of the Parachains auction, we've seen a gain of over 50% in DOT's price. Now that, especially for a crypto with a large market cap like DOT, is pretty big. And the fact that it was mostly based off the Parachains auctions, obviously Bitcoin and stuff has grown with that. But to say that Parachains haven't had an effect, you would be kidding yourself, because the ecosystem has been hugely promoted by the Parachain auctions. Now, we could see a sell the news type situation, which would mean a regression for Polkadot and a correction coming. Now, where will this correction land? Will I see at least testing the $46 mark? If you look on the 4-hour, we can see that Polkadot hasn't really pushed down below these highs. Right here, we saw a push down just to $49, but since then, it just hasn't really tested $45 again after these 4-hour candles. So I imagine testing 45 to around about $44 would be perfect, because it would actually test this trend line as well. And that would be ideal to continue the run. Obviously, if we test this trend line, there will be two possibilities. Either we break under and then get a retest and form back in, or we test it, come back up, or we just completely break through this trend line and then test lower supports at, somewhere between the $40 mark. Now, I would say there is an 80% chance that price is already priced in for the Parachains auctions. That doesn't mean we'll necessarily dump on the 11th of November, but it means that I don't think we're going to see a crazy pump on the 11th of October, to $100. I just don't see it happening. I see consolidation, correction, and then moving upwards depending on Bitcoin. But that was just a quick video on Polkadot and the DOT token. If you guys want me to check out any other cryptos, let me know down below. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.